Why intelligent people disagree so strongly. Intro, hook. It is as fatal as it is cowardly to blink facts because they are not to our taste. John Tyndall. Why do intelligent, educated people completely reject certain ideas, even when evidence exists? Why do some scientists insist there's not a shred of evidence for psi, while others say there are thousands? The answer may not be about evidence at all. It may be about how the human mind works. We don't see reality, we see expectations. Decades of psychology research show something uncomfortable. We do not perceive the world as it is. We perceive it as we expect it to be. Our minds are story generators. They build mental models that protect our beliefs, protect our ego, keep the world consistent and stable, avoid psychological discomfort. So if we expect psi to be impossible, we literally won't see it. If we expect psi everywhere, we'll see it everywhere. Both extremes distort reality. The 4 stages of new ideas. New ideas usually pass through 4 stages. 1, impossible. That's absurd. 2, possible but weak. Maybe, but not important. 3, important and obvious. Of course it's real. 4, I knew it all along. Everyone knew that. History repeats this cycle again and again. Examples include continental drift, once ridiculed, now obvious. Discovery of Uranus, lasers, high-temperature superconductors. New ideas are often invisible until expectations change. The playing card experiment. Psychologists J.S. Brunner and Leo Postman did a famous experiment. They showed people playing cards, but some suits were color reversed. For example, a black heart instead of a red one. Even when staring directly at it, people insisted it was normal. Why? Because expectations overrode perception. Some participants became confused and distressed when reality didn't match their mental model. This discomfort led psychologist Leon Festinger to define cognitive dissonance, the mental pain of encountering something that shouldn't exist. Cognitive dissonance. Why conflict turns emotional. When deeply held beliefs are challenged, people may respond with anger, hostility, mockery, dismissal, especially when they've publicly committed to their position. The more publicly committed someone is, the harder it becomes to change. This applies to extreme skeptics, extreme believers, scientists, enthusiasts. Commitment fuels resistance. Expectation bias in science. Sociologist Harry Collins found something surprising. In controversial fields, scientific criticism often depends more on prior belief than on actual data. Studies matching expectations are judged as well-designed. Valid, convincing studies contradicting expectations are judged as flawed, weak, unreliable. This is called confirmation bias. We selectively notice evidence that supports what we already believe. Intuition versus mathematics. Research in the 1950s showed something shocking. Simple mathematical formulas often predicted outcomes better than experienced clinical experts. Years of experience didn't guarantee better judgment. Today, this is why controversial research is evaluated using meta-analysis, combining all studies objectively instead of relying on intuition, because human judgment is biased, even expert judgment. Other mental biases at play. The chapter explains several powerful biases. Hindsight bias. Once we know the answer, we believe we knew it all along. Salience. We remember vivid stories more than boring statistics. Representativeness. Heuristic. We assume one dramatic case represents all cases. Sleeper effect. We forget the source of information but remember the content. Over time, tabloid stories and serious experiments can blur together in memory. Psychological defense mechanisms. The mind also protects itself emotionally through suppression, consciously ignoring impulses. Repression, unconsciously blocking uncomfortable thoughts. Reaction formation, acting overly positive or negative to hide true feelings. Projection, attributing our own hidden beliefs to others. Dissociation, compartmentalizing conflicting beliefs. For example, a scientist may publicly deny psi but privately recall unexplained experiences. Humans are complex. Belief versus scientific status. Surveys show something interesting. Belief in psi decreases as scientific status increases. About 68% of general public express belief. 6% of National Academy of Sciences members do. The book argues this may not be due to greater knowledge alone, but greater commitment to the scientific worldview. The stronger the commitment, the stronger the motivation to maintain it. The balanced view. The author suggests who is most reliable, not extreme believers. See it everywhere. Not extreme skeptics, see it nowhere. Not elites heavily invested in status. The strongest neutral evidence comes from cumulative experimental data evaluated objectively. Core message. The side debate may persist not because evidence is absent, but because perception itself is filtered through. Expectations, commitment, ego, social pressure, cognitive biases. We don't just debate facts, we debate realities constructed by our minds. Outrow. Before dismissing an idea or blindly accepting it, ask, am I seeing reality or am I seeing what I expect to see? Understanding perception doesn't just apply to it applies to politics, science, religion, daily life. And maybe the most important lesson is this: the mind is powerful, but it is not neutral. If this summary helped you think differently, subscribe for more deep dives into psychology, science, and controversial ideas. See you in the next chapter.